Today we'll be talking about the top 5 movies that came out in 2019 and the top 5 shows I saw in 2019. As a note, both of these lists are in recommendation order. For instance, a horror or a high fantasy will be in lower positions and something that I think will attract more people will be in higher positions. Let's start with the series. These aren't series that came out in 2019, but they are ones that I saw in that year. As an honorific mention, I have Tabula Rasa. I can't stress enough how good this series is. If you like mystery or you have time for a 10-episode miniseries, you have to watch this. TV show number 5 is The Haunting of Hill House. We will see actors like Michael Hussman, Elizabeth Reeser, and McKenna Grace. This is without a doubt my favorite of 2019. I just have it in position number 5 because it is very creepy and people that are my age had nightmares because of this. It is a show based on Shirley Jackson's novel, and it doesn't have anything to do with it, just that the house is haunted, the name of the house, the name of the protagonist, and that's it. In the book, the protagonists are not siblings, but here they are, and I thought that was genius. We follow the siblings in jumps in time between present and past, and we see them from the moment they got into Hill House and how what they see or didn't see there affected them there and how it affects them in their adult lives. Each episode focuses on a different sibling and their experiences are like a puzzle. You have to put together what they all saw in order to understand what is and what was going on. It is a Netflix original of 10 episodes and it is so good to see how everything matches and everything is related. Another honorific mention is Game of Thrones, and honestly it's weird to have it in this list, but it was more weird to leave it out because this has been my favorite show of all time, and the first season from the 7th season are definitely worth it. Yes, even season 7 is worth it, but season 8, it's just worth it. It's still my favorite show of all time. Number 4 is Stranger Things. We have actors like Winona Ryder, Finn Wolfhard, and Millie Bobby Brown. This starts out as a missing child series, and we follow different characters from the same town as they are trying to find him. We follow Winona Ryder, that's the mother, we follow the sheriff, we follow his group of friends, and they are amazing. And these children find a little girl with very strange powers. It has that 80s vibe that I love. The colors, the arcade, everything is on point. Number 3 is Westworld, and this is an HBO science fiction. We see Anthony Hopkins, Emma Rachel Wood, Ed Harris, James Marsden, and we'll be seeing Aaron Paul in the new season. It can be said that Westworld is an attraction for very wealthy people, and the main scenario is the Old West. The main point of the attraction is that the hosts are robots, and they don't know that. In fact, they know nothing. Jon Snow. A lot of these robots live each day again and again, and the main attraction for the wealthy people is that they can pay for adventures, for example, a bounty hunt, finding a lost treasure, etc. They mainly go there to blow off steam and to do things that they wouldn't do in real life. There are robots that die every day, get raped, get assaulted, and honestly the scenes are a little bit harsh. These robots lose all their memory at the end of the day, and they go to the same position the next day to be used again by the guests. One day some of the robots start to get out of track, and it appears that they started remembering some things. The show is packed with philosophical questions, such as what does being human mean? Is murdering a being that looks and acts like a human wrong? And are we programmed the same way hosts are and we don't know it? This is a series that jumps a lot in time, and honestly that got me a little bit confused, so you have to pay very close attention. Show number 2 is The Boys. This is a superhero real story that takes it to the next level. In the real world, the most powerful people and the people with more money are jerks. So what makes us think, if someone had the power to destroy the planet if they wanted to, why would they be good? We follow a bunch of characters with stories that tie together. For example, we follow 2 guys that can see behind this fake BS. We follow a girl with superpowers that admires the 7, which will be like the Justice League or something like that. And she joins them, and pretty soon she finds out they're idiots and everything's fake. And in place number 1 we have Chernobyl. We will see actors like Jared Harris and Stellan Skarsgård, and I think each episode is totally worth it. The tension keeps on building and building, and the last episode it's so good. And it's really something for a TV show in which we know that mostly last episodes suck. The acting is excellent, the tone, the palette color, everything. Here we follow the chain of events that led up to the explosion of the nuclear plant of Chernobyl. It has such a great balance of the horrors that this brought to human health and to the planet, and it is also very informative about the scientific's negligence, the government, and the corruption that brought this explosion. It is truly informative, and I am not a nuclear physicist, and I don't think any of you are, but the information is presented in such a way that it's very understandable and also very entertaining. And now on to the top 5 movies that came out in 2019. Number 5 is Avengers Infinity War. This is an epic way to end the saga. I think it is one of the best superheroes movies that I've seen. The only one that I can think is better is The Dark Knight. What I liked best is that the stakes are real. Whenever Thanos came into scene, you were truly scared for your favorite character. Number 4 is Aladdin. This is without a doubt my favorite live action. In case you don't know what Aladdin is about, it's about a poor guy who finds a magic lamp and falls in love with a princess. I loved everything. The cast, Will Smith is perfect, the choreographies, everything. Number 3 is 1917. In the first 5 minutes, 2 young soldiers are given the mission to go deep into German enemy territory to deliver a message. And delivering this message will mean that one of his soldiers will be saving his brother. It is a movie directed so that it looks that it's taken with one shot, and honestly that makes you appreciate more what the soldiers were doing to get this message across, and the directors and the actors and everyone that was involved, how hard it was to make this movie. From the beginning, the tension just kept on building and building and building, and during the movie I was the most scared. Not even during a horror film I was this scared. The amount of action is insane. The poor kids couldn't catch a breath. Number 2 is Dark Waters, and this is probably the most underrated movie of the year. I know I said I was really scared while watching 1917, but after watching Dark Waters, I was scared for days. And it is because this is based in true facts about a lawyer that finds out a company, DuPont, is guilty for cancers, tumors, malformations happening around his area. At first I was relaxed because I thought this happened 20 or 30 years ago, but the first cases started to be resolved in 2015. 99% of the worldwide population have the chemical that we're exploring in this movie, and it's something that can't be broken down by the human body. You watching this have this chemical in your body, and I have this chemical in my body, and there's stuff in everyone's house that has this chemical, and this is just scary. And finally, movie number 1 is Joker. A man that didn't have much to begin with loses everything and becomes Batman's villain. I'm not a fan of character-based story, but this movie. I left the cinema thinking that I've seen the best movie ever, and I still think that, but then I wonder what would have happened if Joaquin Phoenix wasn't the Joker. Phoenix is without a doubt the best Joker, and he just made it look like a piece of cake. There's a rumor that Nicholson called Ledger and warned him about the dangers of playing the Joker. And so that's it for today. Thanks for coming and talk with me. I'll leave you my social media in the description box, and see you next week.